Welcome back, everyone, to more from the Stabilize. I'm here today for a very quick one with Blake. How are we doing, Blake?
I'm doing well, thanks, Mitch.
That is good. We're not going to talk for too long today because, obviously, why would you watch our content when you could be watching the Latin America International Championship? We're just going to very quickly go over some of the decks that have done well and discuss how embarrassingly poor our tier list ended up being. So first of all, thanks to PokerStats for putting together this list, which we are using. I've got pretty much all of the highest ranking players, and then obviously a few of them. People don't want to give away the spice, they don't want to give away the hot decks. But I think the important thing to note, Blake, is that the two decks that are really seeing a lot of play, or there's two or three decks that are seeing a lot of play, but one of them, Mewtwo and Mewtag Team GX, we didn't rate super highly. We only put that in tier 1.5, and that was based off of the word of world champion Henry Brand, who didn't think it was going to be super good.
No, and I think that's it's got to do a lot with the field. A lot of the field was going to be birds, and getting off a cross divide with Mewbox is really strong against it. It has a decent matchup against that. I think also it's just one of those pet decks for a lot of people. So the representation is probably due to once you spend $300 on a deck and bling out all the promos and stuff that you have to put in for Mew Mew, you tend to want to find a reason to play it. Not to go against any of the placings or whatever. It's had a strong showing for sure.
Yeah, it certainly has. There's heaps and heaps and heaps of placings on day 2. Sorry, Matt, I've just cut you off there.
Right.
But yeah, there's heaps and heaps and heaps of placings, and it comes down to that obviously with a brand new meta and a field of incredibly strong players, and you can see some super strong players in this list, especially at the top 25, 32 of this list. There's lots and lots of strong players. Obviously, Mew Mew is a good go-to if you're looking to be successful. Another deck that's seeing lots of success is ADP, which we suspected. That deck seems pretty good. I think if we were to redo our tier list again, we'd put that one straight up in 1.5. Sorry, it's straight up in 1.
Yeah.
We'd put it in 1.5 in the video.
Yeah, well, that's because we weren't confident in the list, whereas it appears that the people who did bring it were much more confident than we were. They were happy to just play with the current power level that it was. By all of what I've seen so far for ADP's representation on stream, the list looked pretty similar to ours. Nothing too crazy, and going for End Resolve and Jirachi for the most part. There's one interesting note where one of the ADPs is actually a Greens Exploration ADP build. I don't know too much about that, but that was towards the bottom end of the
down,
day 2
down here somewhere. This one here.
Not sure how they've built that one, but who knows? Maybe we'll see it on stream and we can figure out how they've put that one together.
Yeah,
but pretty interesting.
It'll be really exciting to see. Now we've run some numbers. Obviously, we don't know a large number of these decks. There's heaps and heaps of decks that people haven't had up on PTCG stats, poker stats. There's not a huge amount going on, but Mew 3 and ADP are the ones that are seeing the most representation that we can see so far. But I want to talk about one deck that
I know this is coming.
that we put in meme tier on our deck list, on our tier lists, and Igor Costa's got that particular card in second place. Naganadel and Guzzlord, obviously playing something significantly different to what we were playing, but hey, it works, it's good.
He was playing exactly what all the people in the comments were telling me to do with the list, which is really funny because I know a lot of people are going to come in and be like, "See, I told you I was right."
Told you, Blake. Told you.
I'll admit it. I was wrong on this one. To be fair, when I saw it on stream, it was up against Mew 3 in the first round or whatever, and I was like, "Why is it this card of all cards? Why is this the new deck to come out of this format? Why is it this one?" Obviously, it's pretty cute, the strategy with the Beastbringer to take full prizes in a tag team and then use the GX to win the game. But obviously, I don't see an answer to Clear Vision GX. And considering how much Mewbox is in top day 2, I can't honestly see it doing too well. But obviously, for a lot of them, they hit the right matchups. They dodge Mew 3 and hit a lot of the decks, which the deck does beat. which I can only hypothesize because I haven't tested it. So
Yeah, no, exactly, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why it did so well on day one, and it was so successful, is that lots of people just didn't know what to do about it. And there's like obviously Igor Costa and Jimmy Pendarvis both played the similar list, if not exactly the same list. There's a Gustavo Wada playing with Omastar and Giratina and Garchomp down here as well. There's all sorts of stuff going on. So it's an interesting one. Now, obviously, when the video is out, it's going to be pretty much the end of day 2 when you watch this one. So we'll know who the finalists are. But at this stage, we're not able to see into the future. A couple of other interesting notes of the decks that we have the names of. There's actually only one Pidgeotto control deck in this day 2 field that we know of.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting considering how hyped it is. But it could just be the fact that Mewtwo and Mew is so strong that's pushing it out.
Yeah, I think with a lot of decks, they were like Pidgeotto still had a lot of techs that people had figured out. Like a lot of people started putting Fiones into their list so they could gust Oranguru out of the active and make them either promote like a Jirachi or a Pidgeotto. And so they just consistently reuse Fione to make one of their consistency cards come out into the active, which is really cool. And also, especially the ADP decks have access to Cryogonal, which not only shuts off their hammers, but was pretty much 2 or 3 shotting like all of the Pokemon and taking extra prizes on them.
Yeah, that Cryogonal is a super strong tech. It's one that we didn't show on the channel, but we did have in our list, and hopefully we get a chance to show that off before too long. But yeah, no, it's really interesting. I'll just run through the numbers just very quickly. Turbozard had 4 placings that we know of, which was much higher than I would have thought. I didn't rank that particular deck too highly. I thought it was going to be around tier 1.5, but then again, we thought that Mew Mew and ADP were going to be there as well. Nagalord obviously has 3. There's one Dolstall list, which is right at the very top in 4th place, which is really cool. Hopefully we get a chance to look at that list over the next few days. We've got 10 Mew Mews, 3 Baby Blacephalons, a Guardian, a Blacephalon GX, 7 ADPs, whoop, dropped a coin there, 1 Pidgeotto Control, 2 Mally Trevenant Dusknoirs. They were a little bit further down, but that's another cool deck that we haven't really looked at. Pikazek, there was 1 of them, and then this one here, this is one that I'm super keen on. Stefan Ivanov, Quagsire, Silvally, Keldeo, Blastoise, and Piplup. There's so many different cards that we don't know what to call it.
Yeah, I listed it as Nagquag, but I suppose that's not really correct.
Yeah,
the
no.
Nags are not in it.
There's no nags. There are plenty of Quags, but no nags.
Yeah, it's a nagless deck.
Yeah, so we'll over the next few days be looking at a few of these decks. Hopefully, once the tournament's over and people start giving up lists, we'll be able to do a little bit of analysis. But yeah, we don't want to talk too long about it because obviously there's still a lot of water to go under the bridge, but I think that it is important to take a look at what the field is like because obviously there's lots of things that we weren't expecting to do super well that have done well, and this is the type of event that defines the meta for the next few weeks. If you were a person who was going, oh, well, I'm not going to play Mew 3 anymore because it's not going to be any good, well, we were wrong about that, so probably be happy to sleeve that back up.
Yeah, might want to take a step back on that one. That's a bit of a rush call.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, anyway, we won't take too much longer. 10 minutes is enough of talking about a format that we don't fully understand. Hopefully, you enjoy or have enjoyed the stream and over at Pokemon TCG on Twitch or wherever it is. And we'll be talking about these lists, starting with the champion on, I don't know, whenever it is. Tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully we can see that list as soon as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. Well, thanks, Blake, for taking 10 minutes just to stumble through this half-finished list from PokeStats with me.
No worries.
And thanks, everyone, for watching. If you like the content, this one's a very short one, then consider subscribing. Click the sable eye in the middle of the screen. On the left-hand side, there are some videos that YouTube thinks you'll like, and on the right, we have, I don't know, something else. We don't have a playlist to be plugging. Maybe some of our training center stuff. Yeah. This is a weird one because we don't normally do this, but thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.